Welcome back to the Working Dog Report. Now, we're going to be not talking about dogs this time. It involves every hunter in Arizona. We're going to be talking about the HB 2497. What is this bill? This is a right to hunt bill that everybody has come to me about and asked why not, or what's the pros and cons. Now, it sounds like a cozy little bill that's going to protect us from everything, but it is not. Is it a good bill? It is a good bill. Is it a bad bill? There's some language in it that's not the best. But we're going to go over the pros and cons real quick so you guys understand why maybe there's some push of not to do it now. This is a bill that came out 2006, 2010, I don't remember. Like I said, just getting into this legislature stuff, and it just kind of regurgitated this bill to get it gone through again. Personally, I think our proposition last year, 134, was the better bill than this even, or better. We should have voted on it because it said you had to have like 10% of every county in the state to get a ballot initiative. And that would have helped us tremendously. It would have helped a lot of people tremendously. This video is not about taking sides. It's about understanding what the bill does and what's good about the bill, what could be the problem about the bill, and why it matters to all hunters. Whether you bow hunt, rifle hunt, spot and stock, or use dogs, this affects how hunting laws are written going forward. So what does this bill do? What the bill does? Let's talk about what the bill does. At its core, the HB 2497 is about setting rules around how wildlife can be pursued and hunted. It focuses on defining what is allowed and what is not allowed when it comes to interacting with wildlife during a hunt. In plain terms, this bill is about how far hunters can go when pursuing animals and what counts as acceptable behavior, right? It also may give more authority to regulators to decide what is considered acceptable. This is where the language will come into play in this bill. Now let's talk about the good. What's the good about this bill? One positive is it can make rules more clear, right? That way the hunters don't accidentally break the law. It's going to define, it's going to tell us what we can and can't do. And clear rules is going to help us stay legal. It's going to give us the right to hunt. It's not going to necessarily protect us from ballot initiatives, but it's going to make it harder for them to come at us with these ballot initiatives. Now, it can protect hunting if done right, and sometimes putting these definitions into law can actually protect hunting. If something is more clearly defined than as legal, then it's harder to take away later, right? It's already saying in law that it's legal to do. That's what we want. We want the right to hunt fish. We want a piece of paper that says, hey, we can do this and you can't take it away. And that's what a lot of these anti-hunting organizations are really trying to do, is take it away. And they know the ways around it more than we do. And like they've always said, they only have to win once. We have to win every time. Now, this possibly could reduce conflict with the public. Definitely we have pressure from the non-hunter. We have growing pressure from the non-hunter. And to me, there's three different classes. There's the anti-hunter, the non-hunter, and the hunter. Now, the anti-hunter doesn't matter at the polls. The hunter don't matter at the polls. That's what these guys are. Now, your general public, the non-hunters that are more than likely not educated. They have no knowledge of how it goes, what's hunting, what you do with the animal, how you dispatch animals, how you harvest them. They're unaware. And social media has made it tough for us to defend because they take the worst part of it and put it out there. First impression, right? Basically what it is. You see a bad video, you got a bad impression. I mean, it can show that that hunting is regulated and not a free-for-all. We're just not out there whacking and stacking, murdering, killing, slaughtering. These are a lot of words you're going to hear the anti-hunters use. And even when we're putting this bill forward, even if everybody was for it, look at Colorado. The whole state said, don't fur ban. The Game and Fish came in and said, yeah, we're going to do it. I mean, that's what I got from it. And that's not how it should be. And this will protect us, but it also may slow it down a little bit when making decisions, just because we have to go through legislature when it is a right to hunt state. Could create a consistency in enforcement. Game wardens and regulators, game managers may get clear direction. They can reduce confusion in the field. Everyone playing by the same rules is a good thing, right? Do we already do that? We do. A lot of this is already done. So a lot of people say, well, what does it matter if we just put it forward? I'm going to say this again, and I had a conversation with a fella this morning, and it's the same thing. I said it's the language that scares everybody, because even though you're right to hunt, there is some verbiage in there that could possibly end up in lawsuits, and we do not want that. Now let's talk about the vague language. The biggest concern is unclear wording. Words like harassment, disturbance, unnecessary pursuit. You can go all day and pick it apart. That could bring you into a court case by other people who do not want you doing what we do. These words, these terms, this language, they mean different things to different people. And if the law isn't clear, it can be interpreted however someone wants. And when you go into a court of law and they're suing you for some, say, harassment or disturbance, what is harassment? Sitting in a field watching bull elk during rut season? How is this all going to be interpreted? A disturbance? We'll probably get into that here in a little bit. This isn't just about one group. For example, archery hunters stalking animals repeatedly. Harassment? Spot and stalk hunters pursuing animal on foot. Harassment? Again, is it unnecessary pursuit? Rifle hunters tracking wounded animals. What are they going to say about that? All hunters scouting and positioning. These are all things that can be brought up, and we got to be really careful with the wording. The language has to be right on the money. At some level, all hunting involves pursuing animals, so wording matters. Does it open the door for more rules later? I mean, once something is regulated, it's easier to expand those rules. So you're putting the power in the legislature. This may not be the end, could be the starting point. So this is just some things to look out for. Can it be used against us later? Even though the bill sounds reasonable now, it can be used against us with politics and courts later on. The language, some of this language in the bill can be used in future efforts to restrict hunting. And that goes back to who wants to cause trouble and who interprets it how they want. Now, does it move the power from the wildlife experts? There's a concern that it's gonna shift decisions from the Arizona Game and Fish Department, the professionals, the biologists, the scientists, the people who do this for a living, and this is going to put the hand in the legislature. Do we want that? That's the question we need to ask. Do we trust our game and fish more than our senators, more than our representatives, more than our governor? We all know wildlife management should be based on science, the data, not opinion, not pressure, not feelings, not unicorns, not butterflies. Let's talk about the words that can sound harmless but can be dangerous. There's harassment, disturbance, unnecessary pursuit, ethical concern, fair chase, if not clearly defined. So these are the words we really got to look out for. You got to pay attention to on this. So if you read the bill, read it word for word. Don't just skim through it, because these are not scientific terms. They're opinion based, and that's where the problems start. Now, go back. Let's stick with language. What about these phrases that give too much power? At the discretion of. Look for that in this bill. As determined appropriate. Appropriate by who? Scientists, biologists, game and fish, or Senator Billy Bob, who's never been hunting and has a buddy, or a representative has a buddy that says, I don't like this. And then what are they doing? They're trying to change, to bring in other changes to this bill. Another one, may regulate. Who may regulate? How are they going to regulate? When are they going to regulate? These phrases allow rules to change without going back to the public. Now, am I right about some of this? I don't know. I just research a little. I chat GBT. I go to the internet when it says this is where I found it, and I try to figure out. Go to other states. I know there's agencies right now going to other states trying to figure out how bad this could be for us, how good this could be for us. So when you think your agencies aren't doing nothing and you think they're just about the money, I advise you to talk to some of these people in these agencies. Reach out. They have a lot of people reaching out. They don't get back to you, reach out again. That's what I've been doing. And I've been getting answers. And you would be surprised how deep these agencies are diving into this. Not just the Arizona Game and Fish, the Arizona Wildlife Federation. We are Arizona Working Dog Alliance. It's a long one. Arizona Sportsmen for Wildlife Conservation, I believe. They have a long acronym. Those guys have been digging into this. A lot of them are afraid to say yay or nay. They're staying neutral until they find out what we can do about it. Why this matters, to pay attention now, because these words in this bill today can shape hunting laws for years down the road. Your kids, your grandkids, so on, so on. And really what we're trying to do, I'm 50 years old, maybe 51. I want my grandkids to hunt. My kids have hunted. My kids have went out and ran dogs. They've chased elk. They've chased deer. We've hunted everything. We've fished. We've trapped. I would like them to be able to do this in the future. And as of right now, it's looking a little shady. So we do need these kind of laws to protect us. Now, why should all of us hunters care? Because we all know, for one, hunting is a very competitive sport. Do you let anybody know where your honey hole is? Probably not. I do dry ground line hunting. 90% of the time, I'm alone on my mule with my dog. I don't bump into people. Do the deer hunters say the houndsmen run all the deer, and the elk hunters say that all the houndsmen run all the elk out of the country? Absolutely. Does the rifle guys say that the bow hunters and the muzzleloader guys wound a lot of elk and leave them lay to die? Absolutely. It's just the kind of people that I guess we are. We're very competitive on it. But on this, you really got to work together. Everybody, you got to put your differences aside, because every method of hunting shares one thing: pursuing wildlife. So if they take that term and they spin it like most anti-hunting organizations do to the general public and make pursuing wildlife bad, we're all in trouble. Whether you're archery, muzzleloader, spot and stock, fishing, running dogs, trapping, bird hunting, whatever you do, you're pursuing wildlife. And if the definition of pursuit changes, it affects all of us. So this is why language, wording, phrasing is super important in this bill. And this is why there's going to be some argument of people saying, let's wait until we put this out. Now, Michael Way put this out. Michael Way ain't no 30-year politician. He's a freshman. He's young. He's in it. He just got in it. He threw this bill out. Did he snag it up from the 2006 or 10 bill? I don't remember what year, guys. And say, let's push it again? Probably did. Now, can we sit down and wait till next year? We don't want to. But can we change the language right now, or wait to change the language to make it better, to make it bomb-proof? We will see. I think it's being worked on right now. But, like I said, they're hearing it on the 24th in the Senate. Let me check my date. I don't even know what date it is today. 23rd. So the 24th in the Senate House. If you haven't been to the Senate, go down, sign up for RTS, and just sit in. Those natural resource guys, Shamp, Shope, Gallant, these are all badass senators. I was super impressed. It's the first time I've been to a Senate hearing. It was a couple weeks ago, and I was really impressed with these senators. But you got to support them, or you got to let them know you don't support them, one or the other. It makes a big difference. So, simple analogy here. If someone who doesn't hunt gets to define what hunting should look like, it may not look like hunting no more. If you have somebody making a decision that's never done it, then how do they make a decision? They have to listen to the biologists. They have to look at the data. And are they going to do that? This is what we need to make sure of. Now, in conclusion here, HB 2497 may have some positives, like clear rules, structure that feel good, we're protected, but it also raises concerns about vague languages and long-term impact. That's what everybody's worried about. This isn't about overreacting. It's about paying attention. It's not about trying to create more money. From what I understand, all the power is staying with the game and fish. If we have to change a rule, it may take longer in the long run, but I believe it's just going to stay with game and fish. But how long will it do that? I keep saying, go back to Colorado. They got, and Oregon. Man, they've been infiltrated, and we don't want to be infiltrated. So we have to protect that. We have to protect that commission. We have to keep the right people on our commission so they'll listen to the data and they will listen to the people with boots on the ground. So that's all I got to say about 2497. I hope I explained it good enough. You can look up the bill and see for yourself. I would love to hear what you have to say. You can get me on Facebook, Arizona Working Dog Alliance. You can get me on Instagram, Arizona Working Dog Alliance. I'm putting stuff on YouTube now, Arizona Working Dog Alliance. You can email us, azwda@outlook.com. Let me know what you think, good or bad. I have thick skin, man. It don't matter to me. I'm just telling you what I think, and I'm looking up stuff. And if you can do it better, let me know, and I'll pass it all to you. You can check us out on azwda.com. I'm trying to keep up with it, but I'm not doing real good at it. So social media is probably the best way to get hold of us. We do a live every Wednesday night on YouTube channel, Anecdote of a Houndsman. We talk a lot of hunting. I'm trying to take all the politics off and go to YouTube channel, Arizona Working Dog Alliance, and that's where all this stuff's going to be. That's where this video is going to be. I have some people going to do some interviews with, and it's going to be about what's going on across the country and in Arizona. I appreciate you guys listening, and always pay attention. That's all I got to say about this bill. Like I said, get a hold of me. Tell me I'm stupid. Tell me I'm smart. If you want to jump on, let me know. We'll do a podcast together. We'll do a live together, and we'll get it out there.